Welcome back to the HGC Finals at BlizzCon. Currently, we are 1-all in the semifinal between Team Dignitas and Miracle. In Game 1, Miracle was able to stop Dignitas' aggression with the Kerrigan, but it was not to be had with the Genji and a Tracer.
Yeah, definitely not. That setup destroyed them absolutely. And not getting a single kill on that map pretty much showed how strong Dignitas performed here. Any
thoughts as to where we might be going next, Trick?
Ooh, a couple of options. I think we all would love to see a Towers of Doom. Obviously, one of our favorite battlegrounds to watch, especially when Dignitas is on it. But we could be seeing anything like a European special. 2-man Spider Queen could be great too.
Any thoughts as to what Miracle might be feeling here as far as a map or first pick?
A lot of it does come down to, I think, we've seen what happens when the Warriors get prioritized. The Garrosh, the Diablo, we know that JPL and Judy, they've both excelled on those. The Anubrak, the Korean special pairing with the Ural. But if you don't get those options, I look at somebody like JPL, with all due respect to Judy, JPL has so many heroes that he's known for, the Murd, and we haven't seen that in so long. He's kind of disappeared at this tournament. Gilly, one that we like, that we always know that Dignitas can pull out. Artanis. It's also by pulling people. Yeah, Artanis, clearly Artanis. But the Stitches, I mean, they have so many things that they can do. That's what makes this team special. So depending on what map we go to, I think that front line, so they either need to prioritize the front line or really heavily commit to a Frankel-style play.
Yes, when in doubt.
Hook them out.
I knew you had my back there, buddy. Beyond that, expectations now for Miracle and the mindset. We talked to them before this tournament, and I asked, whose job is it to make you feel better, to raise spirits when you start to lose, when times get tough? Because undoubtedly times are tough right now. And they said, it's kind of Nacho Gen, but then somebody ruins that for them. Do you remember who that was?
Blue Beetle.
Yeah,
Beetle.
Why?
Because he tells bad jokes.
He tells dad jokes.
He tells the best jokes.
He tells Trixler jokes is what they really said.
That's how bad it was, exactly.
That's why Blue Beetle's one of my favorite sports.
Because you're both not funny.
Blue Beetle's kind of funny.
That hurt.
It's okay.
That was painful, dude. In front of this crowd, you're going to say that? Dang, dude.
A line was divided in the desk this day. We know Genji is waiting in the wings, and now we've kind of seen how both of these teams are feeling today, on the final day of BlizzCon. Who do we feel is maybe going to be a better match for Genji in those grand finals?
Oh, I mean, like, I definitely want to see them going up against Dignitas. 100%. I want the repeat from the mid-season Brawl Grand Final. I feel like most people, at least from the Western scene, want that rematch. But again, Miracle deserves to be in the semis. They already have shown that they can take down Dignitas. So I wouldn't call it too soon yet. Exceptional play on game map number 2, but that series is not over.
Well, I have to break it to everybody now that Trixler was awful and checked and knew what map we were going to beforehand. Trixler!
Oh, it's like,
gotta sell him out.
What do you want from me? It's right in front of my screen.
How did you know? How did you know? The European favorite, I mean, you called it.
What do you want me to say, Praxis?
All right, we're going to 2 with the Spider Queen. This is a European specialty, and Team Dignitas is the team to take us there.
I will say that when you do look at the map pools, knowing that Dragonshire was banned, a very good map for Dignitas and Full Sky on BOE, it does seem like a likely one. So Trick had some research done, even though he didn't.
And there's more to it, too, because there's the aspect of you've just gotten a win with Dignitas, and you was a demoralizing loss for Miracle. But when you look at our battlegrounds, Tomb of the Spider Queen in Europe is one of those battlegrounds that if you think that you are better than your opponent, you beat them down. You go for the double turn-in, and that can be a way to really just knock Miracle out mentally when it comes to the rest of the Best of 5 series. Tank of the Tomb, shut them down with the double turn-in, and go from there. Well,
one of the Warriors is let through now. The way that these bans have played out, Miracle, I think, is making a play around that. Garrosh will go. And now keep in mind that we saw Johanna last game. Johanna is very good on this battleground as well. It's just a matter of, will Dignitas be willing to commit to that because they only have 2 picks before the second ban?
I love the adjustment with Medivh, though. I really, really like it that on this map in particular, they're just saying, okay, we're not going to deal with that. And it leaves, as you said, a tank open. And that's the choice that they have to make right now, and they go for Diablo.
Yeah, I was wondering about Diablo or Tyrande, and they decided to go with the Diablo, which I think we need to go with. I mean, I was talking about it yesterday, but there's 4 heroes in particular that are very important to Miracle. It's Diablo, Garrosh, Thrall, and Blaze. If you have 2 out of those 4 in any capacity, Miracle typically gets a victory. So Diablo is going to be their major pickup and the major reason why they might be able to get a win here.
But Genji has still been let through the draft. Yeah, he doesn't offer a lot in terms of being able to wave clear and keep that going, but if you know that you have that, that is a secret weapon, and that's something that was just destroying Miracle in the last game. So something that Miracle had to keep in mind. I think that's why we saw that pause before going into the Diablo pick.
Genji is also fantastic for giving you the map control here. You always have those quick rotations with this mobility towards the bot lane, so you can offset the balance in the one-on-one setup. So it's definitely a pick that can still come out. But the first thing that we're seeing is looking already for a Wombo setup here with the Jaina for the burst damage and with Deckard Cain.
This is something that we've seen before with Miracle in their run. When they took down Ballistics, they used the Jaina, have the wave clear now that you're lacking with the Deckard Diablo, and now we could see that flex over. The one thing I always like about Rayners against Diablo in competitive play, that penetrating round is just waiting for that shadow charge at any given moment, because that can be interrupted. So in the hands of Poik or Snitch, depending on who that is, you know that you're going to be trying to keep Diablo off of you. So Urel coming in the second part of the bans here, which means that we're likely to see that Blaze, even the Leoric, which used to be an old EU special, kind of saw his way out. But when you look at the lack of mobility of a Jaina, Leo is a bit more appealing to try and get a flank.
You were talking about earlier, but is it time for that Stitches to come out for JPL? You have that Tyrande, immediate ball for the Wave Flare. You got the Wave Clear available with the W build that we've been seeing from a lot of Stitches in the past. Sure, there's been more tanky builds coming out lately, but it can work certainly well here on 2-Man Spider Queen.
I'm waiting for it.
It's gonna be a Tyrael and a Blaze coming out.
Wow, how did you know? Dude, like that was insane prediction. I love it.
But
that's a European caster right there.
Right there, yeah, got you.
Okay.
You're in my way, man. I'm sorry, my bad.
You get the double protection. We've seen this. This was actually something that worked really well when you go back to the first Western Clash. It was something that we saw a lot of teams run. I think it was during the Zealots run. So you have the stun potential to come out from the Blaze. Depending on what we get here, knowing that Jaina's already locked in, I don't think that's as threatening. So the Genji's picked in, so you don't have this super point-and-click lockdown.
This is where Dignitas can choose. Do we want Snitch to be hyper-aggressive? Do we want this to be a more macro-focused play from them? This is the pick and the choice of how they want to play. They've left it up. It's a great way of drafting. And I wonder if we're going to get Snitch back on a melee assassin here.
I think they need something with mobility, because right now, the Tyrande and the Rayner, if a Leoric comes in there, the Greymane, so they're going to rip a Cursed Bullet, but a Diablo coming in into an Entomb, and then you've got Genji, you've got Jaina, that is so much damage that can come out in an instant. So going with Greymane, though, was not the hero I think anybody really expected there. It's something that we've known Snitch to play for a very long time, but our current meta has not been favorable towards Greymane.
Yeah, I was stretching towards that Thrall, or even maybe that Zeratul, which has been showing a lot in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
That's who I thought it was going to be. I was waiting, and when I said I'm waiting to see it, was Zeratul, and partially it's because Miracle has banned a lot of Zeratul, and they've had to ban other things versus Team Dignitas because there are other concerning picks for them. But I think Miracle are more locked into what certain melee assassins they can play than the flexibility that Snitch provides.
I mean, the Leoric is also something that, at least in Europe, has heavily dropped off. We've seen it very, very rarely. Now it adds the extra wave clear on the map that you can get here. But it's not quite necessarily what I expected. I expected something with a bit more kill potential on the offlane.
That's the thing, is that we now have, it's all about Wubby's bunkers, because the minute those Entombs come down, he better be nearby, because you can put the bunker just outside the Entomb and click to get in it. So I think a lot of it, their positioning is going to be very crucial when it comes to those team fights post-level 10.
Whereas Judy has dominated all through the group stage on Garrosh, how are we feeling about him being able to at least get Diablo in this match?
Oh, I prefer his Diablo over his Johanna or a Nubrak any day. His Diablo is devastating. He knows how to get in there, and the thing is, he stays alive for an eternity with or without the help of his support.
Like, he played extremely well on the Diablo, especially against Liquid. Like, he had some great scenes there. So I have no doubt that this is going to be really difficult for Dignitas to control. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to deal with that. The Leoric, still curious to see how much that comes into play here for them. Level 20, on the other hand, is going to be rough. Once you have Buried Alive, if it ever comes to that point, then Leoric just power spikes so hard.
Right. Well, this is it. The next game will determine who is one game away from the Grand Finals and a match with Gen G. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Dignitas on 2-Man Spider Queen, a European special Caldor. Will Miracle be able to hold it?
I mean, you're the one with the amazing predictions. The map choice is coming out here, so if
Dignitas
anyone can tell me, it's you.
Dignitas has got this. They got the poke. They got the delays available. Blaze here as well to help out with those Entombs that should be coming out of Miracle. Dignitas going to a traditional map for them, and Wubby is going to be a star player here. I can feel it.
I mean, he has to be. He already delivered on the last match, but my eyes are still locked onto Judy with that Diablo. If he can make the engages happen, of course, there's a Reyna on the other side who's trying to stop you with a penetrating round. We have also other tools like the jet propulsion alone, but still, he needs to be the one who makes the plays for his team.
Well, here we go into the third map here. Dignitas on the far left. JPL. Tyrael is going to be played by him. A Blaze on Wubby here, Foik on Raynor, and we're going to be having Snitch showing off the Grey main, unexpected, as Zalia will be showing off Tyrande. It is Team Dignitas.
It's game number 3, and to the right side of the map in the red, we have Genji, played by a Sniper. We see Frankel on Jaina for all that burst damage to confirm the target. Nacho Jin on Leoric for the offlane. Blue Beetle on the support. He's rocking the Deckard Cain. Judy on Diablo. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Miracle!
As mentioned in the draft, a lot of protection here for Dignitas between the Blaze and Tyrael. But if there is any misrotation for Dignitas, Miracle with that Entomb should be able to kill. But hang on, Dick coming out firing once again as they jump straight on top of Judy. Judy backing up straight to the potions, not going to take some damage too, but Dignitas, man, they are loving these early game team fights.
They definitely do, and that was already a big win for them. And oh, they continue the fight even more, trying to go for Sniper here. So far, it looks like he might be able to get away, but hold that thought. He goes down, Genji dead, and Dignitas with the first blood in game number 3.
You do not typically get a pick on a Genji in the early game, but that Swift Strike being used, and Wubby able to idolize it, move in, and get the full engage. Allows for Dignitas to get that pick up. Now we're going to go straight into the wave clear here, which if you look at it, Miracle has great wave clear when you look at Frankel in particular on that Jaina, and this is actually a star hero for him. So watch for him around level 10 in particular to be destructive against Dignitas.
It was still a pretty big setback that they took so much damage in the early game, because a lot of the players outside of Genji had to just move back and tap at the fountain, so that's already not an option any longer for them, for the time being at least. But I'm still looking towards how much Diablo is going to impact this game. We're going to wait for him to get a couple of stacks together on his soul so that he is a lot more hit point heavy. And then we'll probably have a bit of a tougher time for Dignitas to really get the kills. It's really Greymane who then has to deliver later on.
Early bruiser camp here from Miracle, getting the offensive play, but Dignitas realizing that there was not a rotation on the map, is going to guess their opponents were on top of that camp, but Tyrande may have scattered out as well. So they grabbed their camp and should have the defensive capability for this, meeting up with the spell camp right at their turret. So he should be able to handle that and also deal with Miracle, who typically goes for a drop-off when you go for that first initial push of the bruiser camp.
In talents, you can now also see a few of the differences that we highlighted earlier. With now Austin's renewal on Leoric is taken on level 1 for Miracle. When Dignitas were running Leoric on Infernal Shrines, they went into the Consume Vitality. Now, a lot of that had to do with the cooldown reduction that you really want to activate throughout the entire Shrine phase, but it shows again that especially Korean teams are very dominant when it comes to that Austin's renewal to give them value.
Camp in favor Dignitas here in the middle. Judy goes in for a flip, trying to get close to the turret. It's not quite there, but at least in range here for Nacho Jin to help out with that wave clear. That Neil Peasant to level 4, helping destroy that lane here in the middle. 19 gems have been dropped off by Dignitas, building towards that first turn-in that we typically see from them.
They have a lot of interrupt potential here too through Tyrande alone. Just sending the Owls and the Luna Fair through can help you to make sure that your opponent doesn't turn in. Now granted, there's also a couple of tools for Miracle. We're talking about Deckard Cain, you have Genji available, and also to an extent Jaina, depending on how far you're willing to go and how much you're going to risk there. But right now, the objective mainly controlled by Dignitas. 25 turned in, and only 5 missing before they can complete a turn-in.
Yeah, you were talking about Jaina, that Frost Shard really helps out with that clear, that Pierce being available, make sure that she doesn't get in too much trouble in terms of trying to delay that turn-in. But Wubby also will be pretty instrumental in that bottom lane, helping out with the fire, of course, as he continues to throw out that oil. JPL juking and jiving here on the top side while Frankel goes for the first turn-in from Miracle. We'll be able to get it. No, another delay once again.
Yeah, there comes the Luna Flare that we've been talking about. The interrupt potential through Zalia. And he's, of course, getting those stacks in with it, too. Sitting at 2 for now. Rotations between the top turn-in point and the bottom are pretty frequent. He has both of the teams are trying to sneak something in, but it might very well come down to another big battle between the two.
Yeah, and you gotta wonder if Dignitas wants to have that battle. Do they want to wait till level 10 with that signification so you can empower that Grey main, allow for him to go for that full-on dive, find a target? Jaina would be the main target for him. Dignitas continuing to build up towards that. 25 gems have been dropped off, but Judy looking for his own engage, goes straight in for Foik.
That was actually a really good attempt, but the follow-up from Blue Beetle was a bit off there. That could have definitely been a kill if he lands that properly. I think there was a bit of a mistake in communication between Diablo and Deckard Cain. outside of that, this could have been the first kill for Miracle, and especially Poik needs to be careful here because he is the prime target for them.
But it still shows that Judy willing to pull off that initiative, and that Diablo really allows for him to have that initiative and find those engages. He'll definitely have more opportunities to find those picks.
Especially now that he has a couple of souls available. He's already sitting at 77, so that hit point pool is allowing him to make these plays without exposing himself too much. Snitch, of course, still at the frontier, able to move away as Judy was hoping to put him into trouble.
Yeah, Judy went for that full engage, but Snitch is bit completely back, knowing they have their teammates to back him up. Poik doing his best here to push Judy away while JPO goes for that turn, and he has the level gems available to him. Dignitas, kiting backwards though, needs to be careful. Blue Beetle, constantly where that poke should prevent them from getting that turn in.
I mean, Europe is known to get the double turn in, get one turn in and try and take a bit of a lead. Just spiral that towards the level 10, and then with the heroic abilities as an advantage, you're looking for the second one. Again, the engage onto Poike though, as Miracle is looking for the fight. They excel at team fighting. They've done such an incredible job against Tempest, through that in particular, and of course they're going to look to be the aggressive team in this match.
One of the reasons why Diablo is so strong on this battleground, Judy already finishing that Soulstone quest, having all 100, so that full tank capacity, being able to make sure that he has that region available for him, and that really allows for him to keep up his aggressive play that he keeps pulling off. Now in the bottom lane, we constantly have these two continuing to fight back and forth, and they have a hefty amount of gens on the Nocturne Gen, sitting on 32.
Level 7 for Leoric also, no hopelessness for him. Instead, we're having the drain momentum here. So the added movement speed that you get through that. And once again, that mobility can really help you on the map here, especially in those team fights to launch onto these targets. Here comes Judy once more onto Zelia. Gets a bit of damage in, but the turnaround attempt as we're seeing Greymane engage.
Judy just does not care. He will dive time and time again. He knows he has Decker to back him up. He was looking for an engage near a turret of Dignitas. Say there was somebody that was able to drop some CC there. He may have taken some shots and maybe fallen victim, but he doesn't mind. Snitch, however, in trouble. Kiting away, a sniper punishes.
Yeah, he really brought the pain there. Genji did so well. Sniper following that up and already thinking about going even a bit deeper, but that would have baited him too much. 9 on both sides, both waking.